부릉부릉.
Faust, if things don't get any better, what will happen to them?
히스클리프 씨를 소멸시키는 데 성공한 마왕 히스클리프는 모든 세계를 넘어다니면서 히스클리프를 소멸시킬 것입니다.
We're winning though.
캐서린의 소환이 성공한다면 그녀 또한 모든 세계를 돌아다니면서 캐서린을 탄생시키겠죠.
To what end?
그 끝엔 이 히스클리프와 캐서린 둘만의 절교가 남지 않을까요?
Huh? There's a sound coming from my device. My device? What's this now? Catherine, Dante. She's like communicating with me now. She's sending me WhatsApp. I see that you write a diary of your own. Oh, here we go. They're incorporating Dante's notes into the gameplay. Good thing. Good thing. I don't really use it much. I wouldn't call it a diary. Why did he write like this ... message? Come on, this is weird, Dante. It's not like a record what happens every day in here. That counts as a diary still. It is a record of your life. Okay, then I suppose it is. I'm a wimp. Catherine? Yes? Okay. Just before the break of dawn, during the quietest hours, the day, I would write my diary. Especially on days when I suffered from fevers. I could not bear to keep going without vomiting every fold of mine on a piece of paper. She's very talkative. I was always honest with my diary. But it seems that I could never be honest anywhere else. While I hid my true feelings from the ones I loved, while refusing to communicate myself, I became angry at those who couldn't understand me. Alright. Heathcliff shall never know. He will never know how much I shot Webb. Oh, Heathcliff logged in. No, I have to know. How is he doing that? Is he standing next to me with his smartphone out going, wait a second, guys, I've just joined this group chat. Heathcliff, how did you? I needed a lot of courage to get here. Catherine. Oh, it's this is an amazing segment, but holy fucking shit, the fact that they write out the name of who's writing every single time as if anyone is like, they're not prefacing their message with their own name. Their writing starts here. You know what I mean? Like, just let the Catherine, Heathcliff, and Dante appear immediately and then do the typing effect. Please. Sorry to just nitpick right now. It's a little bit annoying though. It's also easy for you to topple me. This, I mean, for you to ground me up till I'm nothing. It's disturbing my flow of reading, you know? I was so happy whenever you came to visit me. A single glance from you and my direction could brighten my entire day. You were almost like a calamity. And I've always... Get a room, guys! Always loved that very calamity that swept over me like tempest, Catherine. ... Thank you for having the courage. How about I love you too, Eve? I love you, savage beast. Finally, our hearts are no longer broken apart. She didn't say I love you yet. Come on, Dante. May I borrow your diary for a moment? The Golden Bough has far more impressive powers than any of us could have ever imagined. What do you mean, any of us? Like, you're talking as if... What powers? It has been bringing your own wishes to reality, is it not? Well, I have noticed that Faust's boobs have started growing again. Oh, Jesus. So, the key to my Heathcliffs happiness. Yeah. Is in your diary. What the fuck was that noise? So I looked down at the screen of the device I carried. Something I used to think was nothing but a tool for recording things. Is she living in my tablet now or something? Don't touch to start. Man, okay, I love that. And holy fucking shit, it actually says clear all cafe now. Didn't I make a joke about that? Golden Bow Synchro. Do I need to clear all cafe, or is this game like gaslighting me into deleting my files? It doesn't want me to touch this. I love the fact that, and I hope going forward they will do this weird meta gameplay thing, or I don't even know what to call it, every single time, because this is the cathartic moment that I'm waiting for. It's like the moment in Ishmael's Canto where you have to target the heart even though the heart is not a target yet. You know what I mean? It's like going, like breaking, not just... Can you hear the wailing in the background? Not just breaking the narrative, but breaking the entire structure of the game up. You know, and I love that. Clear all cafe. Clear all cafe? Yeah? It's just the leader? Clearing all cafe. And it's fake loading screen. Okay.
먼저 말해줘서 고마워, 히스클리프.
Do they know what clearing means?
나도 모든 세계의 히스클리프가 아닌
She loves our Heathcliff, not every Heathcliff.
지금의 너를 사랑해.
Maybe she's like clearing herself because she's an abomination now. God, the screen shaking's really bad. It's giving me nausea. Oh, what the fuck? Wait a second. What was it rolling? Oh my god, I'm gonna have to take these apart. Like, there were a lot of Heathcliffs. And that's a lot of cafes. In every world of possibilities that may or may not have been. Every Catherine and Heathcliff of all worlds call out to each other, feeling the echoes of their partners. All thanks to my golden bow. And powers. They struggle for the one last unseen embrace.
어디 있지? 너를 다시 내 품에 안아야겠어. 네가 계속해서 느껴졌어. 내 곁에 맴돌고 있다는 사실을 분명 알고 있었지. 너는 땅 아래 있는 것이 아니라 이곳 어딘가 있어. 그렇지. 내가 네 마음을 찢은 게 아니야. 네가 네 마음을 찢은 거야. 네 마음을 찢으면서 내 마음까지 찢어놓은 거야.
Millions of worlds made real by Catherine and Heathcliff begin speeding by before us. Every possibility of Heathcliff and Catherine. Most end in a tragedy, full of suffering and lamentation. But among the infinity, I catch a glimpse of tranquility. Outside the manor, there are 2 gravestones marking Heathcliff and Catherine's final resting places. And in the desolate fallen moorlands of Wuthering Heights are 2 youths who each resemble Heathcliff and Catherine. They gaze deeply into each other's eyes, their mouths drawn into the sweetest, happiest smiles. Their hearts connected, despite everything.
저 아이들은 처음부터 모든 걸 정해놓은 채로 보았던 건가?
While King Heathcliff's last words are hollow and bittersweet, its echoes scatter into nothingness. Catherine begins to disappear from every world, as though she was never there. And when every Catherine eventually disappeared, millions of changing possibilities appeared before us. Mr. Earnshaw brings Heathcliff from the back streets. Hindley's scorn and hatred for Heathcliff remained the same. But without Catherine, Heathcliff had no reason to endure the suffering of Wuthering Heights. So he quickly moves on from Wuthering Heights. Each Heathcliff lives a different life, meets all kinds of different people, and lives on without Catherine. Our Heathcliff watched as the worlds transformed. Each Heathcliff living a life of his own, and Catherine's existence slowly fading away from him. I would have understood if Heathcliff were to curse me with weeping, cruel words. I would have understood if he were to grab and shake me by the collar. To erase someone's entire existence is an unimaginably terrible thing. But Heathcliff was watching all of it in silence, as if he wished to carve each and every single one of them into his memory. And
비로소 아무것도 남지 않게 되었구나.
황금 가지를 가지고 가는 거야, 넬리?
Nellie stood atop the railings of the rooftop and gazed down at us. Most sinners had fallen or were unconscious. In her hands, she held the golden bow that appeared to have been pried from the rooftop. She's gonna fucking steal it and bring it to Herman, isn't she?
하지만 히스클리프, 너는 마음 착한 애니까 이해하지? 내게 거울 조각을 처음 보여준 그 사람에게 이걸 넘겨볼까 해. 소용없다는 거 알잖아. 너희는 온 힘을 다해 싸워서 쓰러지고 지쳤어. 그때만을 기다린 치프 버틀러를 어떻게 막을 셈이야? 저 시계가 한 바퀴 돌아간 후엔 난 사라져 있을 텐데.
그래, 지금은 너를 막을 수 없겠지. 하지만 되찾을 거야. 황금가지와 내 개설인을.
개설인? 누구를 말하는 거야? 알아들을 수 없는 소리를 하네, 히스클리프.
알아. 너와 다른 사람들에겐 이제 기억의 얼룩이 되어버렸다는 거. 하지만 내겐 너무 선명해졌어. 절대 지울 수 없어.
그렇게 간절하다면 되찾는 날이 오길 바랄게. 황금 가지만 있다면 어떤 소망이든 마음이든 이루어진다고 하니까.
You know, if only we had killed her earlier. All that remained on the rooftop was a burnt golden bow in the coffin.
하얗게 타버렸습니다. 나머지 한 개는 누군가 이미 가져간 듯하군요.
Nellie took the other one. The one that's intact.
그자에게 간 거겠지. 헤르만.
실패하지 않았어. 되찾을 수 있어. 어긋나도 진심을 다한다면 다시 이어질 수 있으니까. 나와 개설이니 죽은 세계에서조차 그랬던 것처럼.
이 관 속에 들어있는 자의 이름이 캐서린인가요? 죄송해요. 안개가 낀 것처럼 흐릿해져서.
Shit, it did even take their knowledge of her away. And that's kind of... Now that must be hard on Heathcliff.
이 관과 관의 주인은 곧바로 LCCA 팀이 수거하여 본부로 전송해 놓을 겁니다.
I wanted to ask him if he was okay, but I already knew the answers. So many things had gone wrong.
여전히
Was I not supposed to clear all
괜찮지
Kathy?
않아.
Did it just doom him to a bad time? Like, she thanked me though, and she said she loves him. I think it's better for him to just let go, but did we really have to delete every single one? Like, that's... Oof. Heathcliff's one and only goal was gone. But Heathcliff was no longer trapped in a living dream. Perhaps that is precisely why he could open the door to see a new, wider world. Not a single color remained in the silent Wuthering Heights once the tempest passed. All monochromatic, save for flowers. Patches of color.
저 꽃의 이름은 히스라고 해.
Really, are they?
황야에서 고독하게 피어나지만 폭풍에도 끈질기게 살아남아서 기다리지.
Wait for what?
몰라. 그냥 시간을.
That's beautiful. I like that. I love people being named after flowers. Baby's second name is actually after a flower as well. That is when Heathcliff finally told us the name of the flowers.
그림자를 줬던 나날들 남은 건 허망한 기억 불길이 나를 태운 것처럼 내 손엔 채핀 먼지뿐 쉼없이 달려왔던 나를 죄어오던 시간들 이조차 그리워질까 어느 날 언젠가는 돌이켜볼 기억 속에 미소 질 수 있기를 이제는 나가야 할 때 자신을 태워 사라져가는 촛불과 닮아 있구나 수고를 새도 없이 떠밀려 던져진 날 속에 내 길을 갈 수 있기를 먼 날 언젠가는 돌이켜볼 기억 속에 미소 질 수 있도록 멀리 멀리 날아가고 싶어 밤하늘의 새처럼 별에 닿을 수 있게 이 밤 또다시 찾아오겠지만 괜찮아 다 사라지네 괜찮아 괜찮아 쫓아
Before we move on, wow. I don't know how they keep doing it with like every single like ending song. It just keeps getting better. I mean, this one not quite as good as Ishmael's, but I would have rated it very low. But then the ending kicked in of the song, where he like the last 2 to 3 sentences, and he sung those with such emotions and like strength, and that really gripped me. Wow, never thought I would come to love Korean as a language like that. It's kind of weird how Project Moon has done it to me. Amazing. Also, let me keep my thoughts about chapter 6 for now, and let's read the epilogue.
아니 저기로 사라졌잖아 어딜 보는 거야
그걸 진작에 말씀해 주셨어야죠.
Another day, another distortion hunting in the streets of Tikon, as per LCD's orders. Looks like it didn't take too long for Heathcliff to be his usual energetic self once again.
야 뒤질래 이쪽으로 넘기라니까
Maybe he's got too passionate. Long time no. Wait, why you still have color?
빛이 내게
Damien.
아직 닿지 못한 거야.
Yeah, fuck off, Damien.
별은 아주 까마득하게 있으니까. 단테, 당신도 꽃을 좋아해?
I think I've come to like him.
당신이 정성스럽게 보살피고 있는 장미 한 송이가 있었어. 당신의 방은 그 꽃이 풍기는 향기로 가득 채워져 있지.
Did they change voice actors, or is it just because I haven't heard his voice in a while? He sounds different.
그러나 어느 날 당신은 긴 여행을 떠나 그 장미를 내버려 둔 채로 그곳에서 큰 정원에 도달하게 되고 당신이 보살폈던 것과 똑같은 장미가 수천 송이가 피어있는 걸 보았어. 그걸 본 당신은 울음이 차올라서 바닥에 주저앉고 말았지.
But it's not the same rose. It's not mine. Or flower, whatever. No, yeah, he said rose, actually. It's not the same. I want mine.
이유가 무엇일 것 같아?
Damien. He's appeared before me in the past. He would always leave me with these cryptic riddles. But I'm starting to understand what his riddles are supposed to represent. Am I? Because I finally come to understand that the one I truly loved was the rose I'd left behind.
맞아. 세상엔 수천 송이의 장미꽃들이 있어도 나의 장미꽃은 단 하나야. 당신이 물을 주고 가꿔 주고 가시에 찔려서 가끔 아파하긴 해도 당신의 보살핌으로 인해서 향기가 나는 그 꽃 말이야. 히스클리프와 캐서린에게도 그러지 않았을까? 어느 세계에서도 여러 캐서린과 히스클리프가 있다는 것을 알아도 그 어디에나 있을 히스클리프와 캐서린이 행복하길 바라기보다 눈앞의 서로가 특별하고 소중하다고 생각했으니까.
Yeah, and I just Thanos snapped them out of existence.
하지만 대부분의 사람들은 어리석어서 그걸 깨닫기까지는 정말 오랜 시간이 필요할 거야. 알겠어? 눈앞에 있는 나의 꽃을 사랑하는 방법을 알기만 한다면 그 순간부터 더 이상 수천 송이의 장미꽃들은 지킬 필요가 없는 거야. 이 별 사람들은 자신의 정원만을 꾸미기 위해 장미꽃 수천 송이를 가꾸면서도 정작 자신이 원하는 것은 찾지 못하더라고.
But what of the other flowers that's already bloomed? What happens to them? Damien smiled at my question.
그건 당신이 내게 양을 그려줄 수 있을 때, 그때 스스로 찾게 될 답일 거야.
What the fuck? With that, Damien disappeared once more. I hear the faint cry of a distant lamb.
다음 술자리 모험담은 이거군.
What
아주
the?
완벽했어.
I didn't deal a lot of damage. Oh yeah, we did it. I don't know what the hell that was about towards the end, but that was chapter 6. Canto 6. The Heartbreaking. Now I can finally do the third world progress night and time-killing time events. Jesus. Don't have much time for it left. Wow. Oh, what did I think of it? Oh, the pacing was almost perfect. In fact, I wouldn't be sure if the pacing in chapter 5 was better, actually. Some pieces of just story beats and fights felt useless still. They remained a long time in this. Maybe it just took me long, and I'm like, my feeling of passage of time was wrong in this case, but it just took a little bit too long during the Will reading to move on, really. The passage of time being long while walking up the stairs, having a lot of fights going through there, all of it encapsulated in pretty much one long battle where Virgilius appeared towards the end. That was good, that was great. Way better delivered than having like 5 battles in a row, which is how they try to portray it in chapter 4, for example. So that was great. So that's it for like gameplay wise. So no, let's move on to the battles. The battles themselves were really good, actually. There was not a lot of overly confusing mechanics or something. It was all very clear. You saw me clear all, I believe. I don't know. Maybe there was a fight earlier in the chapter that I had to restart. Can't quite remember. Towards the end now, I did it all first try, which goes to show that it's on the easy side, right? If I can do it even. Maybe I'm using overpowered sinners, who knows. So gameplay-wise, that was perfectly fine. I liked the face switching between Catherine and Heathcliff in the last battle. I liked that it wasn't just Heathcliff. I feel like they maybe had one fight too many with him, but it's you fight him and then you run after him again, and then you fight him and you run after him again. So it's understandable in the grand scheme of things. Story-wise, I don't know what to think of it, to be honest. That was the most bittersweet ending out of every chapter we've had yet, and it feels somewhat unfair towards Heathcliff. I mean, he hasn't forgotten her, but everyone else has. I assume Dante also still knows her. Is she now still in my device, or did I clear the cafe away from my device as well? I assume so. It would be nice if Heathcliff had her around still in some kind of capacity. It's kind of weird that we did, in the end, do her bidding still, because she orchestrated all of this to clear all Cafe herself, right? But she couldn't go through. Her wish was hijacked to begin with by the every Cafe. I don't think it was the right move as well to like just. I don't think why would the Heathcliffs be happier just because she didn't exist in the first place? Like, that's such a backwards way of thinking that it's understandable, right? And it also works, but it's just disregarding her entire self. It's kind of crazy. I mean, she was crazy, yes, but I don't know what to think of that. Like, Heathcliff, he must be pretty still heartbroken about it, even though he's maybe he needed a proper heartbreaking in order to move on, you know? I just don't know what to think. Also, there was no reconciliation, no happy ending to get out of this to begin with, because if we had ended this chapter with like Cafe being alive or Cafe being happy or whatever, then there would be no point to Heathcliff's entire character. He would just stay in the manor. He wouldn't just go, oh yeah, Cafe, you're alive now, but I'm gonna leave you once more, right? That just wouldn't fly. It's understandable that they had to end it like that. They had to end it on like this note of moving on. It's the first time that a person rather than a thing is the wish and desire of the sinner, right? For Gregor, it was all about overcoming the war and his somewhat PTSD. Rodian had the weakest chapter when it comes to the intent out of all of them, even though I like chapter 2 a lot because I just felt like it was a lot of fun, actually. And I like Rodian as a character. It was the weakest when it comes to that. But for her, it was overcoming her... How do we put that? What really happened towards the end? I guess it was overcoming, whatchamacallit, dude. And staying in his shadow and doing his bidding and stuff. But that's, yeah. And then, of course, it was about the person for Sinclair as well, but it was more about his past mistakes. His trauma of like getting his family killed due to his acting or inacting, his passiveness, and being just rolled over and taken over by Chromus, just massive Chromus. That was a good one though. Yisang. The funny thing about Yisang's chapter is that Yisang's chapter was just about Yisang himself. Really. It was about him overcoming himself. Rather than meeting with a person, overcoming certain trauma. Well, for him it was overcoming just... Yeah, his just passiveness. His refusal to look up. Finally, he's looking up at the sky again. He had, so far, the most change that is felt throughout the story and the writing, I believe. It's a shame, really, that we had Ishmael's chapter, but during all of these events, and now also Canto 6, it didn't feel like Ishmael changed much, but she also, well, she was grating during her own chapter, but in chapters before, she was like pretty much, she was fine, right? She was okay. She didn't really go that crazy. It was the chapter leading into hers, like the Intervallo, and her chapter where she was just a massive asshole, and that fixed itself. And for her, it was like Ahab, but defeating an enemy as like the ultimate goal is easier than saving someone or meeting someone, as like Heathcliff tried to do. So he was set up for failure. Yet at the same time, this can be where his flower blooms, you know, out of the ashes. That was good. I don't know how to rate it though. Like if you ask me to rate the chapters out of like 100 on a score of 100, I think it will most likely change on a day-to-day basis. If I had to put it in a rating between the chapters, I would still say that chapter 3 is the best. Definitely. And then chapter 6 and chapter 5 are most likely tied on second place. And that's controversial because for many people, chapter 4 is like the holy grail of the writing so far, but I didn't really like it very much. I think chapter 4 is the one I liked the least, actually. And it's no, I didn't like it the least because like chapter 1 and 2 are just, they didn't really find the rhythm yet in these two. It's really unfair to compare them to the others because you can just tell the massive shift in like scope and effort they put into the entire game. It's kind of hard to just put them on this, like rate them the same. I like them both though. I like both chapter 1 and chapter 2. They were both perfectly fine. People hate them for some reason. People like when I see comments on like other videos or something, or like when I talk to other people about the game, it's like, oh, chapter 2 is so bad. Oh my god, how like chapter 2 is pretty much non-existent or whatever. No, I liked it. It was good. I liked it. Let me not get into this though. Thank you very much. That was Chapter 6. Coming up is most likely upload-wise. By the time this episode releases, I don't think the new chapter will have released yet because they haven't announced anything yet. And there's like, I only pre-recorded 3 videos now or something. So coming up after that is gonna be me reading through the Third Walpurgis Night story because I didn't do that on stream yet due to spoilers. Means that I'm gonna record it. And then the Time Killing Time event, which will be a stream most likely tomorrow, but by the time this video goes out, this information is like moot. I will upload it like chronologically after this though, so it makes sense for the people watching this on YouTube. Thank you everyone, thank you everyone.
거기에 졸지 마라.
Looking forward to the next
아직
clip.
제일
I believe it's
중요한
Dawn?
건 확인하지 않았어.
Is it Dawn or Mersault?
나도
One or
빨리
the other.
퇴근하고 자고 싶으니까
Looking forward to both actually.
업무에
It might be that
속지
it's actually these 2 in succession. Yes, again, massive thanks if you've suffered through all of this. I hope my gameplay was not too just hair-rippingly bad. And I didn't butcher my interpretation of the story or something. Bye everyone. Bye bye bye.